Therapy Army. Let's be having you, Therapy Army. How are we doing? We're doing a Leeds United. Leeds United versus Manchester United preview. Welcome, people. Evening. Andy on the mic. Big up Andy on the mic. Big up Prasanar. Prasanar's coming back at me. So this says 29 next month, Nuruddin. 24/7 goated, bro. Never wrong. Hasn't played in the Premier League before. Personally, I'll buy someone long term between 2025 if we get new owners. Deadwood FC. Yeah, big up my light President. Right, I'll have a look. 2-1 Leeds. 2 Man United. Deadwood FC. Here we go. Big up President. Big up to you all. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, people. If you're not already subscribed. And I've put the link there, those of you who want to come. But we're going to get into it, people. We're going to get into it. Let's get into it, people. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. This is a preview for Leeds and Manchester United. How are we doing, people? How we're doing? Big up to every one of you. Smash a like on the video, like I said. Subscribe to the channel. It's a bit that has no weak foot. No, he's 2-footed, isn't he? He's definitely good. Somebody said Sunday night you're going to be fuming with the performance. I could already see 3-1 Leeds win. Oh, okay. Wow. Are you a Leeds fan? Let us know. Nil 35 N1L. N1L. Let us know. Are you a Leeds fan? Happy to have you on. Good. I'm good, man. How are you? I hope you're well. Qatar will buy United 2-1. Go on, Clip Bailey. Big up to all of you. Everybody's in a funny mood tonight. It's Friday night, and it's Friday night. We're having it. Tricky game, Leeds. If you turn up sleeping like the other day, we'll be stuffed. Of course we will be, and that's what we're going to get into. But I just want to go over just a couple of the stats about the last game. So the last stats about the last game was that Manchester United dominated possession. So we had 66% possession. We had 24 shots and only 7 on target. That is a poor shot conversion rate. That is really poor. They had 8 shots and 2 on target, and they scored the 2 that had on target. We had 6 corners. They had 5 corners. We committed 7 fouls. They committed 11 fouls. So for me, there wasn't enough tactical fouling in the game, especially when they won the ball back against us. Their possession was 34%, because especially in the second half, as soon as they went 2-0 up, they camped in. So for me, that tells me a lot. It tells me a lot in terms of where Leeds are. And for me, it's one of the weirdest things, the weirdest games that I've seen. One of the weirdest games to be at in the stadium, honestly. I was absolutely astonished watching that game. You calmed down from last night. Listen, if you don't want Andy, if you do not understand why people are giving him 2 and blaming the draw on Garnacho, you're gonna trigger me, and I'm a madman. I'm gonna lose my head. But big up Logan. Logan's here. Logan is on. Logan is our correspondent, by the way, when it comes to the Glazer investment or the Glazer sale. So this is what Logan's saying. UEFA state that no individual or legal entity might control or influence over more than one club participating in the UEFA competition. Laurie Whitwell. And then he continues. They define such as control as decisive influence or being in charge of overall decision-making of a club or having a control on voting rights. Right. Big up yourself. Big up Logan. Logan, what I would love for you to do is to drag up, if you can, some of the quotes from Eric Ten Hag from today's press conference, even though it was filmed on Thursday. It wasn't live. It was filmed on Thursday, but can you drag that up, please? Because we're doing a preview. Most likely we're going to do a show tomorrow, I think, on the bids. But to be fair, there's nothing new to report. Nothing new to report. There isn't anything new to report for us to talk about. And I really want to talk about the games, because to me the games are more important. The Glazer sale or investment, we will all see in a couple of months' time what's going to happen. And we have nothing in control about that. What do we have in control? Those of us who are going to the stadium, those of you who are watching, the way we talk about the games that we're playing this month. And we already are doing a hectic schedule with players getting injured and suspended. So yeah, you're not the only one that's nervous, Mo. Everybody's nervous, mate. Nervous FC, here we go, here we go. Nervous FC, there we go. Are you traveling to Leeds? No, never in my life am I ever going to Leeds to watch a football game. Never again. Let's put it this way: I nearly lost my life. But big up to the Leeds fan who was a taxi driver who saved us. If you know, you know. Big up to the new home Qatar. Amir is buying our club. Mohammed Hamza Zain, are you Qatari yourself, brother? Let me know if you're Qatari yourself. Phil Malachi has updated on the Qataris. What has he said, Logan? Let us know. Don't just say it. Just let us know what is he said. What is he said? Quote tweet him. Come on. Let's be having ya. But I want you specifically to get the quotes from Eric Ten Hag. Smash a like on the video, people. Smash a like on it. If you subscribe to the channel, if you're not already subscribed. And let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Basically, it's simple, people. It's absolutely simple. I'm worried about Sunday. I'm worried about Sunday, people. I'm worried about Sunday. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm really worried about Sunday. I don't hate. Tom, I've just sent you the link, so jump on if you would like to jump on. It's going to be the hostile reception there, and their fans are going to be up for it. They're fighting relegation, and I just want to break it down for you guys how sometimes, based in Qatar since last year. Big up to you, Mohammed Hamza Zain. Love, brother. I want to make it clear to everybody. And the thing what I'm making it clear is that sometimes the table can lie. Jesse Marsh, I think Leeds were wrong to sack Jesse Marsh. I personally believe that it was wrong to sack Jesse Marsh. The reason why I say that, because he's had a striker injured, someone like injured for majority of the season, and when he came back he got injured again, and they had no goal scorer, so they were not scoring goals. And you know what, I put the kiss of death on it. It was my fault, people. If Siobhan's watching, if Bill's watching, you know what I'm talking about. I am to blame. I am to blame, people, because as soon as I got in my seat, I said that they don't score that many goals, but they're good in midfield. If any of you know any Arsenal fan, I genuinely want you to talk to them. I want you to ask them which was their toughest away game of the season this season. Ask Arsenal fans. Arsenal fans got away with a 1-0 win out of that stadium. It was the biggest daylight robbery I've ever seen. I watched a couple of games of Leeds this season. Now, Leeds, their midfield is the most energetic midfield I've seen. It's the most impressive pressing midfield I have seen. The way they press you in midfield is unbelievable. So that's why I was so disappointed that we weren't playing to the strength of Workhorse against Leeds in that game. And Workhorse himself wasn't holding up the ball. He kept losing it. So it's beyond me that going there this time with a midfield that we do have, we have no Ericsson, we have no Casemiro, not even Donny van der Beek, with no Scott McTominay, and we're going there with Fred, Sabitzer, and Bruno. That's what we're going with. I don't think we've got enough in midfield to beat them. I think if the way we beat them is that we can't play it around in midfield and give it away like Fred was doing every minute, like Bruno was doing every minute, and like Varane was doing, or Diego Dalot was doing. If we give the ball away, the amount of times we give the ball away at Old Trafford, we're going to get beat, people. I say it right now, we're going to get smashed. We're going to get beat. Tom, jump on if you're about. I'll put the link on here if you can see it. There, I'll put it in there. Jump on. Big up Logan, United Real Therapy Journal. Just getting me a couple of quotes. And this is what he was talking about at Garnacho. So they asked him about how Garnacho doing, because obviously journalists are not stupid. They know that his name was trending on Twitter, and that a large parts of the United fan base, especially the Twitter lot, were blaming him for the draw. So even people on this channel were giving him a 2, and which was despicable for me. It's absolutely disturbing that you blaming an 18-year-old where 6 or 7 players were giving the ball away. And the only thing you say, because he couldn't dribble, or he was slipping, or he should have scored. He had a chance. He had a half a chance where the ball came across to him and he whacked it first time. He went past the post. But anyway, here we get into this. Eric Ten Hag on Garnacho. I think he's doing well. He has impact on our game. I think he's a threat. Also, yesterday he had good actions. He's lively. He was lively, created chances, but has to score. So yeah, of course, that the manager's always going to say that a player has to score. And finally, it's about that. You have to have an effect. Big up Mo. Mo, hello. Is this Mo?
Yo, Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me, bro?
Assalamu alaikum, bro. Listen, I need to see your faces quickly for 2 seconds, bro. So then you can continue, bro. Because I've had people who try to get this channel shut down.
Yo, I need to turn on the light. Give me a minute.
Your brother's turning on the light. There we go. Brilliant. Nice one. Nice one, Mo. Nice one. You can continue. Give me 2 seconds. Let me just finish his quotes. Big up Tom as well. Thank you for joining us. Mohammed, and Tom. He says, Ten Hag, I don't expect Anthony Martial, McTominay to be available, but if we have some days, I don't expect it. If they can oversee, I can't oversee it until now. I don't see any new problems. So he was asked about any more injuries about the game the other night, and he said he didn't. So that's what he's expecting. And then they asked him, would they be fit for Barcelona? I think the same answer. I can't say for 100%. So basically, Eric Ten Hag's press conference was released today, but it was recorded on Thursday morning after the game. So it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting. Tom, welcome. Mohammed, welcome. Since you're a new caller, Mohammed, have your say quickly, and then I can get into the show with Tom. Go ahead, Mohammed.
Yeah, bro. I just want to say, bro, I'm really nervous for the game, man. Before the game, I told you Garnacho was gonna start on the right wing, and no, it was Rashford start on the right wing, and bro, I hate playing Leeds, man. I fucking hate that team. I can't stand them, and yeah, I'm nervous about the game, bro. Cause
Yeah.
I hate playing Leeds. Cause Fred, he cannot pass to save his life, or I don't understand how he's a footballer. He can't pass. He can't pass at all.
No.
I'm sure I pass, bro. I'm sure of football, and I can pass better than him. That's crazy.
I think most people can, but the fact that he's a professional and he fails to make like 5-yard passes, sometimes 10-yard passes, it's unbelievable for me. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, bro. It's annoying, man. It's annoying. But
so
yeah,
what do you
this very energetic, bro.
What does your heart tell you? What does your head tell you? What does your heart tell you about Sunday?
If we play like we played against Leeds at Old Trafford, bro, we're definitely losing the game.
Okay, and what does your head tell you?
We're losing the game.
The head, Mo from the head and the heart are telling Mo that they're losing the game. Wow, yeah. I thought some people were calling me being negative.
Bro, you know what? The game against Nottingham Forest, bro, they play really well. They just were unlucky, bro. They couldn't score the goals. I don't understand why they can't score. But I was saying, I was in the group chat. Yeah, I was telling them, Leeds can't score, so we're gonna win. They scored in the fifth minute, bro. I was so mad, wallah.
Yeah, it was crazy. Listen, imagine being at the stadium, Mohammed. Imagine being at the stadium and watching it. I was just in a total shock. I couldn't believe what I was watching. But thank you so much. We appreciate you, bro. Please call in again, okay? And next time you don't have to show your face because now I know who you are, okay?
Okay, bro. Yeah.
Big up, bro.
Yeah, big up.
How you doing, Tom?
Yeah. I'm doing good, Nuridan. How's yourself and that?
I'm all right. I've calmed down since. You know what I
I
mean?
was gonna say, I've not had my apology yet, have I?
No. Well, the apology is, Tom, that I literally checked because I got a couple of friends actually who are
Mm,
who are in the know in terms of football, especially the UEFA rules and stuff like that. It's the same people I was talking to about Man City and about
mm.
Spiegel. And actually, that law is not as tight as they would want. So that law can be got around
You can.
as long as the people who own that the Qataris can prove if if the Qataris were to buy Man United,
Yeah.
they can
Hypothetical.
clearly prove that they have nothing to do whatsoever operationally or any of the finances or any of the names in the companies have anything to do with the private fund of the guy who's the leader of Qatar and the sports fund. So they have to be totally separate. But that's why I had to double check, and I've double checked that now. And that law, UEFA want to strengthen it. There are rumors that UEFA want to make
Yes.
it stricter, but as it stands right now, it's not that strict. It's not.
It's
People,
not, no, and
yeah,
that's the only reason why these guys, just to touch on it anyway, really briefly, is the only reason why these guys are thinking that they can pass this bid through is they wouldn't be putting all this effort in to make a bid or anything like that if they didn't think or they didn't have some kind of intel or knowledge as to how they can get around it. And as far as I'm aware, anyway, they're going to use the example of what Red Bull did with Salzburg and Leipzig, where those two met in the same competition under the same organization. Whereas, like what it said here with the quote from Mike Keegan, where he said, so long as it's not attached to Qatar Sports Investment, so long as no official who works within Qatar Sports Investment has any connection with Manchester United, then so long as that's a separate entity, so let's say if that's QIA who own Manchester United, QIA can own Manchester United and QSI can own PSG. So either or, a full minority state, they can do it so long as it's under a different entity, and then they would try and pass it through like Red Bull did. And then if they want to use another example, they can use the Red Bull example as to, well, you made an exception there, you can make an exception here. And fun fact anyway, Nasser Al Khalifi, who's the president of PSG, he actually holds a seat on the UEFA board as it goes at UEFA. So in terms of trying to get, and he bought some loyalty because he didn't say that he was going to take PSG into the Super League and go against UEFA at the time. So he's got a lot of the board members on his side, and they could sway. I think they could sway some sort of clause and deal.
to
But
be
like you said,
fair,
Nurdin, it's not
listen,
strict.
Tom, what I was told today was that they just have to prove it on paper. On
That's the
paper.
thing. They have to
They,
prove it on
yeah,
paper,
they have
and
to prove it.
they
It
can
has to be
prove it
more
with
than a
words.
reasonable doubt. Now, what exactly the same way how Todd Bowley, the
Yeah.
money UEFA have said next season you won't be able to do that. They're gonna
No.
give 5-year limits in terms of 8-year,
Yeah,
9-year.
contract limits. Yeah.
Yeah. So what the same person said to me that there is rumors that UEFA are going to look to tighten that before Manchester United could be bought. But as the rule stands right now, all you have to do is prove it on paper. They do a bit of investigating.
Mm.
They look over the accounts and stuff like that. And if the two companies are total separate,
Yeah.
then you can
That's
go
what I
ahead.
was trying to explain to you on the last stream, because it was like this QSI, which if QSI wanted Man United, they can't buy it fully. If QIA, which is the group that looks like the Emir's going to use, if he was to buy Manchester United or bid, then he can do it. It's a
Well,
separate
apparently,
entity.
he's not going to use them either. He's not using either of them. He's using his own private fund.
Or
Apparently,
this is what I mean. He's going to set up an individual separate
yeah.
fund, which
Yeah.
either or it can pass through QIA or his
It's
own
not going to
fund.
be a fund. It's not going to be. It's just an investment. So he's making an investment into Manchester United, and it's not going to be a fund because they're both funds, and that's his own private,
Well, this is the thing anyway. Listen, he's already said he's not going to overpay and all that bollocks and everything to the Glazer family. So he's got an offer in mind, and that's it.
Yeah, so apparently, this is a bit of breaking from Mike Keegan. So those who wish to buy Man UFC will have to submit one paragraph only after disclosing simply their bid, the percentage of the club they would like to take by next Friday. And that's the soft, by the way, people, that's the soft deadline. So the deadline could be beginning of March or whatever. So
Yeah. This is just like part one, should we say?
Yeah.
There's
Big up
numerous wheels in the
Says
motion.
Leeds win Arsenal win, we'll be 10 points ahead. He's on the smoke tonight, people. He's on the smoke tonight. Come on, Brentford. Please do me a favor. You've been brilliant all season. Come on, Tony, before you go to the big house, your Majesty's you become before you go to the big house in a Majesty's pleasure. Silence Arsenal for us before you tata. That'll be a nice send-off, innit? Because apparently his case is coming up soon. So big up everybody. Big up Logan, Chief United Real Therapy reporter. He says, hi, Nuruddin. I hope you're well. I want Iqbal and Palestri to start on Sunday. I can't see that, but I know what you mean, bro. But
no,
are you sure
we know what you mean.
Listen, is it just me? Do you want them to start? Because if United get beat or draw, then they'll be blamed, while all the other seasoned professionals will be let off the hook. So are you sure, brother? Are you sure? What do I think? Sami Yassi is coming back here. He says, never mind Rashford. Have you seen Bellingham getting more goals than Neymar and Messi, Mbappe? Yeah, Bellingham's doing pretty well.
Balogun, yeah.
Yeah, he's doing really well. So hopefully you can bring him home. This is just a news. I don't know how reliable it is, but
what's this?
Mason Greenwood has been in contact with Manchester United and Eric Ten Hag for the first time since charges have dropped.
No, he's not been in contact with Ten Hag. He has spoken to such as the executives, so Richard Arnold and people like that, because they've got to, at the end of the day, they've got to make. We can understand making contact because Man United still pay him, even when he was suspended. They still had to pay him. So, but this is the point that people have made here about this. I'll just read this one out for you. Proof of funds will also be attached. In by the buyer in what is being viewed as a landmark day in the battle for arguably the world's biggest football club. So essentially, on that paragraph that we already stated, they have to put how much they're prepared to bid. Then they have to put their name and sort of company or whoever it is. And then if it's a consortium, they've got to attach, say, if they've got a bank involved. So, for example, Sir Jim will put Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos in cooperation and partnership with, say, JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs, because they're the two Wall Street bank investors that he's using to buy Man United. That's just to use an example anyway.
Yeah. Big up Sim. Sim says Ratcliffe has a Chelsea season ticket, but not a United season ticket. And he's a billionaire. There are loads of Cockney Reds who have season tickets. So no to Ratcliffe for me. That's how it is.
Well, people are comparing Ratcliffe to what the Glazers have done, aren't they, really? He's getting over... It was JP Morgan who bought the Glazers into Man United, weren't they, in 2005? So.
It's like the worst PR disaster he could have done. That somebody saying that he's... When you mention JP
Morgan chasing Co.
Manchester United... Yeah. Heads start exploding.
Listen, that percentage, like 68% for Jim Ratcliffe, suddenly went to about 20% when they saw it.
Tom, I'm telling you, I'm in some groups, but I'm telling you, it's crazy. Todd Bowley has to sign an anti-Super League clause to show that Chelsea don't join the Super League when he bought Chelsea. Do you think Premier League will force the new owners will be forced to do the same? Oh, of course, 100%.
Of course, yeah.
100%, yeah. 100%. Our players have to play like men and the right to play and get that blood. So our players our players have to play like men, earn the right to play and get that bloody W. Yes.
Yes, Arun. Big up.
Big up Arun. Same as the Manchester United women will not be comfortable with the potential return to the club of Mason Greenwood. Of course, 100%. 100%. And this is Aaron Pondy's team. De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Martinez, Malacia, Sabitzer, Fred, Bruno, Sancho, Rashford, Elanga. I actually think I'm going to play a different team, but we're gonna get into it, people. So just bear with me 1 minute, please. Joe, big up my Joe. Joe, listen, you need to come back to Manchester, man. I need a personal trainer, Joe. I need a personal trainer. You need to get your ass back in Manny, mate. About your back in Derby. I'm not having this. Get your ass back in Manchester ASAP, fella. Right, get on it, pal. Get on it. We miss you. We miss your smiley face, bro. Better get your ass back here. If Fred starts, I swear I'm turning off the TV. I'm passing the second. Actually, this is where me and Tom... and off the guys. Logan, so Nuruddin, what do you say about the Amir of Qatar? My sources mainly, I only asked about the technicality issue of the monopolization and anti-competition laws that in UEFA have, where they can't have the same owner owning 2 football clubs. So that's what one thing was, to find out how rigid and how strong the rule is. And I've been guaranteed and told the rule is not.
It's
what
not
you have to
foolproof.
prove on paper is that to get out of it.
I think there's a clause with UEFA anyway where they can't make
yeah.
any rule changes in the middle of competition season, can't they? I think they've got to do it at the end, haven't they?
Rance getting a lot of abuse about his opinion on Garnacho. I don't know what's happened to Rance. Big up my brother Rance. Nothing but love for him. Everybody has their own view, but I'll argue to death with him if he was on here about Garnacho and that how 18-year-old kid is being blamed for the draw. Like, I will argue to death about that. So big up HKN Music. Thank you for the super chat. Big up Samiasi. I really hope that Brentford bury you. Bury you. You lose 2 games in a row, and then all of your fan base will have to start checking their underpants, because I'm telling you, there's going to be some accidents. It is. I'm telling you, there's going to be some accidents, if you know what I mean. But big up to everybody. Fred couldn't pass a parcel on Wednesday, never mind the Exactly. Honestly, Glazers have paid their mates United's money for the 18-year-old. JB Morgan had about 1.5 billion pounds. So no to Radcliffe. Yeah. Will it be full sale or not? We cannot with Glazer. Well, basically, I've got it in the title of the thing, and a lot of people are put off by that. So the Glazers, I read an article in the Times, Tom, and basically,
I've noticed.
What's happened is that I knew he was coming, because as soon as everybody said, we're going to look at the market value. So the market value of Manchester United, people, quickly, because I want to move on to the match preview. You keep bloody getting me back in this, and without any real detail, because you're too giddy about a sale and Qatar.
We'll both have a say on this, but go on.
Right. So we'll quickly, 5 more minutes on this, and I'm getting back to the match preview. I'm warning you, Therapy. I'm warning you. I'm bloody warning you.
Unless there's a bid going, we ain't talking about it.
Exactly. Well, because I'm going to talk about the match. Match means more important to me about these clowns bidding or no bidding. So I was expecting for the Neil Ashton printer to be and the type to be working. So it came within hours. And honestly, I was going to post a tweet about it, say, I bet you they wait for the Glazer briefing. And there it comes. Like clockwork, Tom, like clockwork, it comes on time. And basically, the Glazers have said, if they don't think you're going to get 6 billion, they don't want to sell the club. It's based, and before they would have said, you know what they would have said before? They would have said, we think Man United are worth this amount of money, so we might be more interested in a partial sale of Manchester United. But this time, Neil Ashton was like, I need to get the message out, hit them home. 6 billion about no sale. 6 billion on no sale.
Do you know what's funny? Do you know what's funny? Let me just
get a super chat. Big up HKN Music. Big up, brother. He says Fred should not be used as the passer of the ball. Ten Hag should know by now he can't do that job. But sometimes, I'm not going to lie to you, it depends what Fred turns up, HKN Music. If it's Fred from Stoke, he can't pass 5 yards. Fred from Brazil can give her the ball 30 yards, like switch the play with a 30-yard pass that we start looking at each other in the stadium going, what's that, Fred? That's what happens. But go ahead, Tom.
No. I was just going to say that with the whole thing with the Glazers, that sort of thing, the thing that I'm looking at is and thinking it's back and forth PR, because you're hearing about different groups. Like you hear the PR of Sir Jim Ratcliffe coming out and saying he isn't going to pay over the odds for the football club. The same thing with the Qataris. They have the figure of £4.5 billion is well more than enough to buy Manchester United. So when they say things like that, and then you start getting journalists who then put 2 and 2 together and put, well, it looks as if Manchester United, the Glazer family, aren't going to attain the full figure that they want for the football club. We'll put it this way. Anybody who's willing to invest, Nuruddin, and I'll say this now, anybody who's willing to give these guys £1 billion or £2 billion for a share of the football club, they have billionaire mates that they can connect with and build a consortium and they can find another £4 billion from other connections to go and buy the football club Nuruddin. That's why I'm saying this thing with minority investment and things, I think it's a complete smokescreen. I think it's a negotiation tool, if I'm personally honest, because I think it just makes it a case of, well, if you ain't going to give us the money, we ain't going to sell it to you. These bidders, Nuruddin, if it doesn't matter if it's the £5 billion, if it's £5 billion or £6 billion, I think the Glazer family would come to a compromise, given the fact of the market that they're in now.
100%.
And they came in broke. They can walk away with £5 to £6 billion. I think they're going to take it and run. And I suggest these guys do take it and run.
I think they're going to ask for it in pounds. I think they want to sell the club in pounds, I think. Because then when it translates to dollars, it's going to be a bit more. So I think that's what they're going to try.
Well, they could ask for it that way, but I don't know if they can, because the Rain Group have to finance the sale. Because the money goes to the Rain Group, and then they take their cut out and give the rest of it to the Glazer family, and they get a 10% commissions fee on any potential sales with any businesses. So 10% of what the Glazers sell the football club for goes to the Rain Group anyway. So they'll want to make up the extra money. And they don't have to take the debt out anyway. Whoever comes in has to pay for the debt. They have to pay for everything. Yeah, so that's the only problem in that regard. But listen, that's it, guys. We're not talking anymore about any more sales or any more sort of speaking about owners, this, that, the other. Listen, we've got a game to talk about. So all this stuff about sales, we're going to have loads
to talk about, people.
Loads more weeks. We're going to have loads more weeks. Well, listen, we'll set up a stream or something. And we'll do that on another day and speak about it when we know a lot more and who's actually bidded and who's 100%. Serious and who's not. So
100%, we'll get all of the bidders that as soon as we know. Because me and Tom will do the research. We'll get every name of every bidder, potential bidder for Manchester United, and we'll go through them one by one. We'll do that. We'll do that together, Tom. Yeah, we'll do the show like that. Yeah, we'll do it. Me and Tom will do it. I promise you guys. No billionaire uses their own money, and it's why they are billionaires. It's about how they structure and the financing. But Windy Grant, the name J and P, JP, no for Manchester United.
No. Well, look at this is the same thing, and just the last thing to say on it anyway. And I always say this when we talk about human rights with some of the nations, and people who's had travesties like Jim Ratcliffe's been involved in a cover-up 16 years ago, according to form, with a petrochemical deal that went wrong apparently. But with all these people, all I'm going to say is any potential new owner of Manchester United, they haven't become billionaires or been these heads of state or organisers of countries or organisations. You don't become a billionaire with ethics and morals at the end of the day. That's the only thing that I'm going to say with anything. You don't get to that status in life being 100% ethical and 100% moral of your own principles, whether it be in your own country, in your own company, or just you as a person. It doesn't happen. I'm sorry to say it doesn't. You do some things by the book, and in City's case, you cook the books. So,
yeah, big up. Zayan Aladdin says, Man United keep bursting my bubble of hope. I feel sick all the time. I lost appetite. I lost a lot of weight. This team is killing me softly. You know what? The fella, Zayan, you're a poet and you don't even know it. But if that's true, you should have seen me on after the match on Wednesday night. Honestly, 2 hours of when I lost the plot. Tom did not see this side of me. Did not know this side of me existed. I lost the plot the other night. I was absolutely fuming because of the way we played. The way we played was just, it literally murdered me. It killed me. But big up, Zayan. Listen, you got to eat, bro. You got to eat. Forget that. Don't let Man United stop you from eating, pal. But I know what you mean about they're killing us softly. It's the injuries that are killing us. Oh, Tom's back. What happened to the other stream, Tom?
I don't know what is going on. I don't know why there's two of me on the screen. I told you, Neil Ashton, mate, he's got my account.
Okay, you're the one talking now.
I'm the one talking now, yes.
Oh my God, Tom.
We're moving mad tonight.
It's the Matrix, mate. It's the Matrix. We're in the Matrix, I'm telling you. It's all in the Matrix, man. And Tom's Neo. Tom's Neo, people. I'm telling you, Tom's Neo. Tom's Neo, he's disappeared. Honestly, that was a bit surreal. By the way, HK Music, is your uncle the Nigerian billionaire? Seriously, let me know. Please let me know. Please
What
let me
night?
know.
What
Anybody,
Nigerian
let us
billionaire?
know. Honestly, it's your uncle, the guy who wanted to buy Arsenal. Is he the billionaire, Nigerian billionaire? Let us know, please. Here's what he says, honestly, and I believe him. He says, my uncle wanted to buy Arsenal. Is your uncle an Arsenal fan? Let us know, hey, HKN Music. We want to know, bro. We want to know. The streets want to know. The streets want to know, man. The streets want to know. So, right, guys, we're going to get into the proper preview now. Let's get into it. Let me give you some of the figures from what's going on Sunday. There we go. Let me get into my speed. Leeds will assess trio Liam Cooper, Mark Rocker, and Lewis Sinistera ahead of Manchester United's trip to Ellen Road. Pascal Sprood came off with a concussion injury in midweek and will definitely miss out. Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag expects to remain without Anthony Martial and Scott McTominay. That's what he said. Defender Aaron Wan-Bissaka could return from illness. Casemiro will serve the second of his 3-match ban. There we go. Let's get into this. Head-to-head, Leeds have won just one of their past 18 Premier League meetings at 1-0 triumph at Ellen Road in 2002, drawing 6, losing 11. The Leeds are in danger of suffering consecutive home league defeats against Manchester United for the first time since 1976. Leeds could equal their club record of 9 Premier League games without a win in the same season set in 97. They have just won 2 of their last 18 league matches, drawn 6, lost 10. The Yorkshire side have dropped 15 points from winning positions this season, second most to any team in the league behind Leicester. However, they can win equal. However, a win could equal their tally of 4 home victories in the whole of last season. Wilfred Gonto could become the 3rd Leeds player to score home and away against Manchester United, emulating Jimmy Ford, Hasselbank, and Mark Viduka. Siristerio Summerfield has 3 goals and an assist in his live Premier League starts. So he's on fire. Manchester United have just won one of their last 4 Premier League matches, drawing 2, losing 1, and having won each of the previous 4. United are 1 short of their total 6 away league victories last season. All 5 of their away wins this campaign have been by a single goal margin. The Red Devils are on a run of 5 constructive Premier League games without a clean sheet. Marcus Rashford has scored 12 goals in 14 appearances since the World Cup, the most of any player in that period across the top 5 European leagues. Bruno Fernandes' next league goal will be his 100th of his career. David De Gea, this is staggering, people. David De Gea is poised to become the first non-British player and first goalkeeper to make 400 Premier League game appearances for one club. That's an incredible record. So there we are, people. There we are. I'm going to get this out of the way. Tom, I'm going to pick my team. No, Tom, you pick your team. No, actually, you know what? Last time you did it, I'm going to do it now, right?
Yeah,
get your teams in, people. Get your teams in. Get your teams in, right? I'm going to pick my team, Tom. I'm going to say, and I'm saying this now, I don't want to see Fred on that football pitch. Right? We already know that Lisandro Martinez is going to be missing the first leg of Barcelona. So I would start the game with Luke Shaw, a centre-half next to Varane, Lisandro Martinez in midfield, and then put Malacia on the left-hand side. I would then play Sabitzer, Lisandro Martinez, and Bruno in midfield, and my front 3 will be Rashford through the middle, Anthony if he comes back on the left, and Sancho on the right. That's the team that I would play.
Okay, who are you playing right back? You missed right back out.
David De Gea, Wan-Bissaka,
Okay.
Varane, Shaw, Malacia. In midfield is Martinez, Sabitzer, Bruno, and then on the right is Anthony. In the middle is Rashford, and out wide is Sancho. Sorry. To come on to change the game is Garnacho and Berghost. That's what I would do. That is my team. What do you think about that team? Would you change that team?
Probably not. No, if I'm honest, I wouldn't change much of it. No.
Okay, so this is the answer from HK Music. His uncle is the millionaire or billionaire Nigerian guy who was linked to buy Arsenal. Wow, that's something. So here's Sim should be like 20 billion. Wow. So your uncle is worth 20 billion. Wow, that's next levels, mate. Next levels, people. Well, big up HK Music. Big up. Absolutely big up. He comes here with a super chat. Let's get into it. Alco Dongotti, yeah, it's my uncle.
Yeah.
He wanted to buy Arsenal. Most of my family are Arsenal fans. I'm sure that he tried, but he was told he's not for sale, depending how the Naira is doing. A net worth around 20 billion US dollars. Wow. There ain't no joke. HK Music, that ain't no joke. HK Music, the next question is that the chat wants to know, is he quite generous when it comes to you? That's the next question. And that's the most important question. Elanga must play to stop Gonto. Elanga, I'm sorry, and Aaron Pandy. Elanga sometimes is worth than Garnacho tracking back. But anyway, Tom, pick your team. Are you there, Tom? Right, Tom will be back in a minute. Okay, he's gone off for a couple of minutes, yeah. Right, he'll be back in 2 minutes. Arun Pandey, tell me about your team again, please. Post it. Guys, there's nearly 150 of you in here. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Smash that notification button because it lets you know when we're next live. So big up HKN Music. Big up. Yeah, Aliko Dankoti. Yeah, big up Alito Dankoti. I wish he was a United fan. I wish he was a United fan. If he was a United fan, he would have given the 6 billion and then bought Man United. But you know, it's what it is. Eh? Ten Hag will not play Martinez CDM in January 2020. Eric Ten Hag said that the following the Dutch ESPN that Daley Blind does not have the running capacity to play midfield. Neither does Martinez. Well, that's true. He did say that. Big up Ginato Chad. Big up Chad, by the way. Chad, he also said when he was asked a couple of weeks ago, he did say that Martinez can play there. And he also, against Leeds, who came on in the last 15 minutes, 20 minutes, who came on was Lindelof. And he talked about Martinez and Lindelof being able to play in midfield if they needed be. He did talk about that. But yeah, I remember this quote, this quote. So big up to yourself. Big up for that. Big up Malcolm. I agree. I think Eric Ten Hag will play Martinez in midfield. I agreed. I didn't think Eric Ten Hag. Yeah, 100%. But he did say, he talked about Martinez and Lindelof being the guys that can play in multiple positions. He did talk about that a couple of weeks ago. Do you, De Gea, Varane, so big up, 86 says, De Gea, Malacia, Varane, Martinez, Aaron Bissaka, Fred, due to a lack of options, Sabitzer, Sancho, Workers, Rashford. Okay. No Bruno. No Bruno. Where's Bruno? De Gea, Malacia, Varane, Aaron Bissaka, Fred, Sabitzer, Sanchez, Workers. Okay. I see what you're doing. Oh, are you? There's no Bruno. That you picked 10 players. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fred 5. Sabitzer 6. Sancho 7. Workers 8. Rashford 10. You missed out Bruno, bro. Or maybe you did it on purpose. Aaron Pundi says, De Gea, Aaron Bissaka, Varane Martinez, Malacia, Sabitzer, Fred, Bruno, Sancho, Rashford, Ilanga. Okay. I see that. I want to talk to you specifically, guys. Specifically, and if saying Miyasi is still in the chat, saying Miyasi, hopefully he can be honest. I want you to find highlights of the game. Arsenal by far being the best footballing team in the country this season. Hands down. They've been the best footballing side. They played Leeds at Ellen Road, and they got away with the biggest crime of the century. It was the biggest daylight robbery I've ever seen in my life. The biggest daylight robbery. Arsenal beat them 1-0, but Leeds did everything. Leeds ripped Arsenal to shreds. Absolutely Leeds. And this is an Arsenal team with everybody fit. All their first team players fit. So it's incredible that you guys think we're going to go there. I said it honestly. I put the tweet out. Those of you, make sure, follow me, because I always put tweets out about how I think the game's going to go and how tactically, where we have to be careful. I always tweet before the game, people. Always, when I see the team news, I always add it with a tweet talking about how we need to score first goal. I always say first goal is vital because the confidence of our team is quite shaky. And as the stats that I ran out before, we started to concede goals right, left, and centre again. We started to concede, and go figure, it coincides with not having the midfield we've had majority of the season. But of course, you're not going to have that midfield that you have for majority of the season because there's going to be injuries and suspensions. So, people, that midfield that played on Wednesday night against Leeds gave me a heart attack. Fred positioning, Bruno's position, the way Fred and Bruno were giving balls away and the positioning of those two was shocking. They were losing first ball, second ball, and third ball. And they were finding it so easy to press us up the pitch. I put the tweet out. Honestly, Tom, did you see my tweet before the game? I said, do not give the ball away in our last 10. If we're not passing, they're going to be at our defense ASAP. Yep. And what do? They do that in less than 45 seconds. Less than 45 seconds, they do that, bang, and it's a goal. So with the crowd, with the whole crowd behind them, and I'm not going to speak on this one in terms of the atmosphere because I've only been there once and never again for me. It's a traumatic moment for me to think about. So I'm going to let Tom come in here and tell and explain how much of an old school stadium Allen Road is and how much the crowd are literally on top of you. And if you are a Man United player, it's one of the most intimidating stadiums to go to of any time. It's not a modern stadium by any means. It's old school ground, just like Everton's, and their crowd are absolutely deafening. It's absolutely deafening. So, Tom, please explain that to people.
Yeah, well, like you say, with some of the historical sort of stadiums that have the history and legacy behind them, like we looked at the City Ground when we played Nottingham Forest. It's the same story. Ellen Road's just another one of them. Villa Park as well. All these stadiums, like the history and legacy that those football clubs have left in the past, and the sort of legacy that they've built. Even coming into modern day football as well, trying to emulate those glory days or those former glories. Like the noise of Ellen Road never left, really. As soon as Marcelo Bielsa and they started, picking up some form in the Championship, that fire, that desire, that hatred for Leeds United came back. Same way that it's come back for Manchester United this season, where you've got a team that's willing to do battle, to do it all and go at teams and everything. You've got a team that wants it at the end of the day, and that's game. And, Leeds United as well, not having a manager, they don't have somebody who they have to follow or abide by. They are playing off of just vibes and energy at this moment in time. That is the plan at the moment, and that's why it caught us primarily off guard when we played in the first game, in the first half especially. Was shocking, like you said, the first minute of the game not to be switched on. I think if you concede in the first minute of a game, you've got problems for the rest of the game already, because it sets the tone and it sets the precedent for the rest of the game. And we was lucky that we could get back into the game with the form that we did. But the thing that I looked at with the Leeds game previously, and I'm going to say it as well for this game that we're playing at Ellen Road, will be Leeds are brilliant going forward. They can rip you apart, they can cut you open, they can do it. But at the other end, they are shocking. They are there to be got at, and that's why I'm saying if you play players who are tricky to get the ball off of in front, and people who are direct and are going to run at players, likes of if you play a Sancho, when we saw him come on in the game and he got the goal, where he was very direct. He was very, straight to the point, and he went at people. We haven't seen that kind of player in him. Rashford, we've saw that emergence again this season. Players like Alanga, even though that they don't have that final third quality, they'll run at people. And I think he looked at the same thing with Garnacho and he thought, listen, he's going to run at people. He's going to take them on. That's what we need in this game, and that's what we want. And Rashford's movement in and around the 18-yard box, I think, could help us in the game if you wanted to play him as a central striker. I personally would. For me, I think the team picks itself. I wouldn't disagree with what you said with the back four, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Shaw, and I'd play Malacia as well. I would play Martinez in midfield because he's going to miss the first game against Barcelona anyway.
Yeah.
I'd play Sabitzer and Bruno in those. I'd play him as eights. I wouldn't play one more advanced than the other. I'd play them both as eights and let them, build that partnership and that, rapport in midfield, if you like. And Martinez can hopefully screen sort of the back four with his positional play and his passing angles that he can give us as well. And it gives us a separate option because, listen, we've played Casemiro, who's a right-footed sided player on the right-footed side of the game. You've got Martinez who can play on the opposite side now, on the opposite flank. So it gives us an out ball. It gives us something different, which I do like. And for me, I think Sancho, I think this is the perfect game to play him in. He's familiar with the team that he's played against. He's already scored against them once. Yeah. He was familiar with the pattern of play. The tempo of the game suits him. And I think the hostility in the Derby game, it's going to show him what he's learned. It's going to test him mentally. What I've learned in the last couple of weeks, and when I've been given that time away to sort my head out and to sort myself out, now I can come back into a hostile, a ferocious derby, an atmosphere, a rivalry, and I'm going to see if the work's paid off. And I personally think it has. I do see. You couldn't put money on, and you couldn't put a price on his head to have a smile back on the kid's face. I mean, that was the most important thing.
To me, that was the thing that made it. But I was so angry. I was clouded by it because I wanted to.
And listen, I wouldn't be too dissimilar with what you said with the front line. I would start Anthony personally. I would play Rashford through the middle. I'd play Sancho on the wide left personally, and I'd play Anthony on the wide right if he is available. Yeah. If he's not, I would shift Sancho wide right and I would play Alanga because I think players who are going to be direct. And then listen, I think Garnacho is brilliant to bring on off the bench. I think he's a player who can change a game.
Alanga scored. We beat them 4-2.
This is the kind of game that I think when you need players who are going to be explosive and who have that pace just to run at people, and absolutely Leeds defensively are there to be got, especially in the wide areas. You can take them and you can knock them for six. These kind of games.
Listen, it's going to be very interesting. Is that the HK Music says we need to just sit back and counter. We're not ready to play proactive football. Well, if Martinez plays, I think we can play proactive football with Bruno and Sabitzer because they're both. Well, Sabitzer is really good at keeping the ball ticking. Bruno, I hope he has more defensive discipline and he's not trying to be a hero where he's losing the ball every time. Everything I said in that tweet, Bruno does that in the first 30 seconds. It was the worst thing ever. Eric Ten Hag says Anthony Martial, Scott McTominay. Yeah, we've got this quote. Big up Jad. His games against Leeds, against Barcelona. Is Anthony really unavailable? Well, he said he had a knock on his leg, and he was in the box the other night, wasn't he? He was in one of the private boxes, and he was he's got a leg. He's got some sort of leg injury. Bang Part of Life says, imagine if Fred scores a hat trick in this game. That would be ironic, wouldn't it? Well. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me at all. And big up Jarvis Cocker. Jarvis says it's a tough one because our midfield, we need a balance. I would drop Bruno down with Fred and Sabitzer and basically go with 4-3-3 with Sancho, Rashford, Ilanga up front. Yeah, that's a decent shout as well.
Yeah.
But the press conference was on Thursday morning, so Anthony might be fine now. He could be fine. He might not be. Big up, man. Big up Rizza A. Big up. Ten Hag here says, I don't expect Anthony Martial McTominay available. He basically did the press conference. The press conference was released today, but it was recorded on Thursday morning. So he and in this comment, he was saying he will have to see. Big up, Tom. How's this running? We play 5 in midfield and drop up to 3 at the back. Varane, Martinez, Shaw. Strikers, Rashford, Workhorse. Yeah, maybe. Maybe Beefy Bully, yeah, that's quite creative. But I've never seen really Ten Hag playing three at the back. I've never seen an Ajax game where he plays three at the back. Anthony cannot be forced to play in Leeds. We need him for Barcelona. Play Prestri or Elanga. Maybe, yeah, maybe Palestri.
I think Palestri's an interesting one, though, isn't it? Because I think
likes, guys. We've had 150 of you on 1 minute. It's 120 of you now. Please smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification button. It lets you know when we're live, people. Anthony is a vital for this team. Well, he gives us balance on the right. He gives us balance, and so that we can switch the play. Thoughts on Martial? I think he needs to be moved on. His contract is up 100%, mate. I've lost patience.
There is nothing that can get him back in any of our books. I don't think.
No, to me the biggest thing is like if he was 21 or 23 or 23, I'd be patient with him.
Yes. But he's had our patience. He's had our time, and he's had our patience.
He's going to be 28 this year. He's going to be 28 this year. So you have to move on, mate. Yeah. To me, if you can't stay fit, then you have to examine every aspect of your life. Look, go and speak to somebody like Djokovic in tennis. Djokovic used to get all these injuries. He used to lose some of these games, even though he's so good. He used to lose finals. And then he found out that he was I think he's gluten
free.
Yeah, gluten free. He found out all these things. And he's like a machine. His body's like a machine. 5 sets back to back, no problem. Ten Hag got to be careful with this tactics on Sunday. And that brings me exactly for the last 5 minutes, people. It brings me exactly for the last 5 minutes of show. I think, Tom, we are in danger. Let me set out my argument. We are in danger, people, of Manchester United ending up with zilch this season. Do you know why I say that, people? Because injuries and suspension have hit us, and the team is conceding goals right, left, and centre, and we're not winning games like we were 2-3 weeks ago. And obviously, the competition is getting tougher as well. So, for me, we're in a very dangerous part of the season. That's why I want to get out of Europa League ASAP. You know, I don't like the Europa League. It's not a secret to all of you. I think it's the Mickey Mouse Cup. Ho, 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 ho. I never want to hear that. I'm only used to hearing the champions. Da, 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 da. I can't say the rest, but you know the rest. You know the rest. And I do not want to be in competitions where players are going to break down and get injuries. And I'm telling you, Spurs are breathing down our necks. And I'm telling you, all it will take Chelsea to win 5 games in a row, or 3 games in a row, or Liverpool to do the same. And next minute, they're breathing down our necks. And I don't fancy our chances. Diaz is already on his way back for Liverpool. Jota is might be playing part in this this weekend. So they're gonna get goal scorers. And Liverpool, one of the biggest things, they're not being able to score. So if they get their goal scorers, they're gonna be winning more games. So I'm telling you guys, I'm saying it now. Please tell the time now, whatever the time is on this date. I've told you, because I'll be back and I'm telling you, I'm vindicated again. I don't want to be vindicated. I don't want to be right. But I'm telling you guys, we are in danger. And today in the press conference, well, that was recorded on Thursday, but came out today. For the first time this season, Erik ten Hag has acknowledged it. He acknowledged it and he said the overload on the players will cause injuries. The overload on the players will cause fatigue. And it's a bit too much. He did say that. He did say that, people. He did say that. So for the first time ever, he's realizing that he's admitting it. So for me, Tom, I think the season is in valid danger of collapsing. And another thing I want to tell you, Liverpool were in 4 competitions till the end of last season. What happened to them this season? Nobody can explain. Yeah, they've had injuries, but nobody can explain the way they play. Because I believe those players are emotionally and physically fatigued from last season. For when you go for everything, and you go for everything, is mental fatigue and physical fatigue. And also, Liverpool did not freshen up. They needed to sign 3 or 4 players in the summer to basically freshen it up. And
I don't even think that, though. I just think some managers, there comes to a point in time where they need to shuffle the pack. They need to get new coaches in. They need new ideas. They need new tactics. And listen, he had the Croatian coach the first time for his first 2 years. He's then had Pepe Lengers, a Dutch coach, for 2 years now. I think Klopp just needs new ideas. Personally, I think he needs a new assistant. He needs somebody who's going to bring something different to the team. Listen, with Ten Hag and stuff, he came in and he knew this squad was frail and it was weak. So he brought in Benny. I can't remember what his last name is anyway. The guy who's done this whole work with Rashford and everything, and like the confidence and the enthusiasm that he's brought to the actual group as well. Even Steve McLaren as well. You know, the experience, the knowledge of the club as well, the foundations of when he was at the club as well. Bringing these sort of things back as well has helped the group form. It's helped them connect. And Ten Hag's obviously brought in his laws and legislations and, you know, no lateness for training and things like that. And he vindicates the players, you know, and listen, sometimes you've got to discipline your best players at the end of the day. But, you know, there's some things in some games, like with the game that we're going to play against Leeds, where I just think you need to play a certain style. You need to go for what you're good at. And what this team is good at right now, when it's not got all its players in, is probably to sit back and probably hit on the counter attack. I'm being honest, because we don't have the controlling players. We do not have the technical controlling players to control this game. We don't,
We don't
and
have
that
it
is
in
a
midfield.
fact. And
We don't
I
have
was
it in
personally
midfield.
shocked when Leeds actually sacked Jesse Marsh, because I saw some of the games, like they were getting 60-70% possession in games, and I'm
Facts.
thinking, like, you're controlling, you're dictating the games.
Tom, I
I
don't know
know,
if you were here before, but I was talking about specifically the Arsenal game where Arsenal robbed them. It was the biggest daylight robbery. I'm
yeah.
telling you now, if Bamford was fit all season and they had another goal scorer this season, Leeds would be pushing top 6, 7. I'm telling you.
Yes, of
I'm
course,
telling
but
you, because of the amount of games where I see them dominate the game for large parts and the way they're aggressive in midfield. So, but Tom, I'm going to ask you the central question. Do you believe, like the brother says, big up Chad and Splash says here, Splash, he reneged on that comment, and in a press conference about 2 or 3 press conferences ago, he did say, yes, we can play Martinez and Lindelof there as well. And Lindelof has played now, has come on for 2 times this season and played in midfield. So I'm just letting you know. So if Lindelof is good enough to play in midfield, so is Martinez. But here, Rizza says, factor in depth will destroy our season. So I'm going to ask you this. I'm going
go
to
on.
ask you this, Tom. There has to come a time, I believe, that this will destroy our season. It will literally, the lack of options will destroy our season.
Yeah.
Because we will not have the way that Ten Hag wants to play, especially, we will not have the players to construct. Because I'm telling you now, Eriksen is not just out, he's out for the season. He's out for the season. It's done. It's absolutely done. Dada is gone. Good night, Vienna. Right? Casemiro would again pick up more yellow cards and even more red cards, because now all of a sudden the tag that he's a violent player he's gonna have that tag. And we already know McTominay's got a muscle injury, but we know what he can't offer. This would be a perfect game for McTominay tomorrow.
Yeah, literally.
It's all about battle and fighting, right? On Sunday. But Tom, getting back to this, what do you think to my worries? Do you think my worries are founded on reasoning, or do you think I'm just being negative? Because that's what people accuse me of.
Listen, I'll call you out when I think you're wrong and stuff, like when I said about the Qatar stuff, and when I'll agree with you, I'll agree with you, and I'm agreeing with you in this case, because I just think that we don't have the squad, we don't have the players to go on all 4 fronts. And in my personal opinion, I think we have got the squad and we've got the playing style and the team where I think we can hang out in the Premier League, and I think we can hold out to get top 4 in the Premier League. I think personally, just ditch the Europa League. I know that's going to, you know, spike a couple of people in the chat, or it might spike a couple of people's opinions or whatever. But I don't really care if we beat Barcelona or if we get knocked out. I really don't. I'm not arsed at the end of the day. It doesn't faze me, because I just think it's lesser games to play. It's 2 games that we get where we don't have to play in the middle of the week. So it gives us that cover there where then players can rest up. We can get some legs in. And I think that the game where, you know, the FA Cup will start coming back in with the fixtures there. We already know the Carabao Cup's, but it's finished after we play the final, so we don't have to worry about that. Just focus on the league and then one more domestic cup. And that's why I say you'll play lesser games in the FA Cup than you will in the Europa League. And in that case, I think we need to limit our options. And I'm not completely saying that Ten Hag should just go to Barcelona and just throw a bunch of kids out there and thingy, but go figure is what I'm going to say in this regard, because I just think that we don't have the squad to fight on all fronts. We don't have like I say, we don't have the midfield to connect, to control. We don't have it. Ericsson is the final component in that midfield, and he's gone for the season now, like you've just said. So that balance and that control in the midfield isn't going to be there. You can bring Casemiro in there, and you can play Sabitzer and Bruno, or Fred and Bruno. It doesn't make a difference. It's not going to be the same, because those three have built that partnership all season, and now you're having to change it just for the sake of going towards the end of the season. And that's why they were so desperate to get a player in. And long and behold, he actually plucked out a decent player, Erik ten Hag, on deadline day in Marcel Sabitzer. So at the end of the day, I look at, even with Sabitzer, like, I look at buying him in the summer anyway. He's a player that we need. He's quality. He's a player that we need. And he's one of those players who is an option off the bench. Even when we have, because I think in the summer, regardless of the ownership change and everything, Nuruddin, I think there's a lot of these players are going to be shifted out anyway.
Well,
Because
no,
there's
no, no,
surplus
no.
requirements.
Listen, if the Glazers in charge, I don't see any.
Oh no, if the Glazer are in charge, I don't think so. But I think, given the fact of that, if new ownership comes in, a new investment comes in, they're going to want to splash a couple of £100 million in the transfer market, aren't they? So you're going to need to pave the way for a couple of options. Maguire's surplus to requirements. Lindelof is effectively surplus to requirements at the back. Shaw's getting picked as centre back over the pair of them. McTominay, I think, will go to a club. Fred, even if you get an offer on the table, I think would go somewhere else. The options are limited. Donny van der Beek, I just think we need to cut our losses as a club, and I think he needs to go away. But do it in a mutual capacity for the player, because he's not. I don't think he's been given that opportunity and that fair chance at the end of the day. But we need to cut our losses, and not cut his noses to spite his face.
He's
but
still young enough to recover his career.
He's still young enough to, get his career back on track and things. And at the end of the day, it frees up a squad option, and it frees up a number in the squad to actually go out there and invest in a position that we actually need, like a centre forward and things like that. And then you might look at us a bit, then all of a sudden, when all these midfield options have gone, and think, do you know what? If the money's right and Bayern aren't going to rip you off, why not? What have you got to lose? Nothing at the end of the day. And Weghorst, I mean, if we get rid of Martial, for example, I don't think Weghorst is a bad option to bring off on the bench long term. If I'm being honest, if we wanted to sign him,
I need somebody a bit more mobile.
I have got my doubts about it. But I want to see, I'd want us to see us bring in not a superstar number 9, but a main number 9, and then like a secondary.
I'd
want to do what Man City did in a way, where they brought in Haaland and then they brought in a Class B option, which was Alvarez, somebody who you can understudy to, is what I'm saying.
To me, the jury's still out on Weghorst staying for next season, because for me, I don't want to judge him too quickly, but from the Leeds game the other night, that was his worst game since he's been on Man United. And I understand that we didn't have the midfield to play the ball to him, but honestly, when Rashford went in the middle, we looked like a totally different team. I just want to get this quickly. The guy you were talking about before was Benny McCarthy.
Benny McCarthy, yes, sorry.
Yeah, Liverpool have issues in midfield, but usually when they score goals, other teams are scared that even if their midfield's bad, they can counter-attack teams. At this moment in time, we won't be able to do it. This is fascinating from the Echo. Liverpool on a lookout for a new sporting director who played Julian Ward, and they could look to the former Manchester United man, Ralph Ranier, who Klopp holds a lot of admiration for.
He can't. He's not allowed to legally. He can't operate in a role in the Premier League for 2 years. He can't. Man United put that against him.
So let's hope that can continue. Please remember that for 2 seasons ago, Liverpool were 8th in March and ended up top 4. Klopp used to throw the Carabao Cup to get his players out of that competition. No, 100%. We know that. So for me, I think the season is in danger. I'm telling you now, no other YouTube guy is going to tell you this who's a United fan. I'm telling you, because I foresee these things, because I've seen this before. I'm telling you, unless Erik ten Hag changes the style of play and we play to our strength with counter-attacking football, where he's going to change the top 3. He's going to change. So in the game, they run, we counter-attack, and then bring on the other 3. Only if he does that, then we'll be able to sustain it. But I can't see us try to sustain playing the Erik ten Hag way, because they ask the players of too much energy. And I'm telling you, for the first time ever since being a Man United manager, today, well, the recorded press conference that which was released today, Erik ten Hag admitted that the overload, they're the only club in the Premier League who are left in 4 competitions. And he said it is taking a toll. Yeah. We're gonna know. We're gonna know by we'll know by Sunday or Saturday the papers if he's gonna be fit. Big up everybody. Barcelona Man United isn't being spoken about despite being possibly the most watched football game globally this year. Well, if he was in the Champions League, you won't shut anybody out about it.
No, exactly.
Europa League, and nobody's asked about the Europa League, bro.
Nobody's asked. I speak to Barcelona fans when I went out there on holiday. So.
Don't ditch the Europa. So when you reach the Europa final, Arsenal can stop you. I'm telling you now, Zane. I'm telling you now, and I'm gonna tell you for free. If Arsenal are still in the Europa League, you're gonna lose the league. You're not gonna win the league.
Yeah. I'll be fair.
I'm telling you now, you're not gonna win the league.
I don't think you'd win both. I think it's one or the other.
You're not gonna win the league. Nuruddin, you're right. Our squad doesn't have the depth for top four midfielders. Out will be difficult for us. It'll be very crucial to get top 4 hopes, and this is it. And I think there's nothing better for progression and for Erik ten Hag to finish in the top 4 by league position than finishing and winning the Europa League. Manchester United are prepared to sign Manchester City on a permanent deal in the summer if he impresses. Yeah, of course, we know that. I said it. I already said it before. Rob Dawson. I said if he impresses, he's better. Is he better than Fred McTominay? Yes, he is. And by the way, Pana Parasana, my brother, who's also always like Deadwood FC, he said he's 29 already. I don't think he's 29. I think he just turned 28. But I'll check it and I'll apologize to him if I'm wrong. But he looks like a fit guy that can play for 4 years at least. I can't say that about bloody Fred or McTominay. He looks like more of a dynamic, competitive player. Ten Hag will never do that. He will play for every game to win, get trophies, or die trying. And do you agree with that? Do you agree with that, Jarvis Cocker? Do you agree with that with your 50 cent lyrics, eh? Copyright. If Raf goes to Liverpool, we need to act on unison. Boycott all associated sponsors to connect with United. Post made to sponsor sites where your Man United fans can air their concerns. The sponsors want exposure. Yeah, it'll really be damaging us. Scott, Baye to Xavier, Maguire, Lindelof, Aaron, Zaka, Fred, Martial, Ilanga, Teles, Phil Jones. All these players need to be sold. Well, if you get new owners, I think maybe
there's going to be a full we're going to be doing Todd Bowling madness. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I want Ralph, director of football, fan to start as CEO under the new ownership. Well, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? Cushion, do you think we play counter-attacking football or possession-based? When we play with Eriksen and Casemiro, we play more possession football. But at times, Z Gould, a team like Arsenal in the second half, away at the Emirates, they pushed us back and they dominated the possession. But in the first half, we dominated possession at the Emirates in their own ground. We controlled the game because we had the midfielders to control the game. Eriksen was controlling the game. And the way we played I was super impressed on our first half performance. And of course, against Man City, they hold the ball. But predominantly, 80% of the games, not against the top 4 teams, but especially against Arsenal and City, they might dominate a bit more possession. But everybody else, Man United will have to dominate the ball. The way it is. We need to buy a box-to-box attacking midfielder and a Casemiro backup in the summer. 100%. We're also, by the way, congratulations to his dad, Mikey, and congratulations to Kobe Manu, who signed the long-term contract. He is, I think, by next year, he should be getting at least a couple of games in the season. So by the season 24-25, he should be one of the pushing to start for Man United. I'm telling you, he's that good. I'm that confident about him. We need to buy a box-to-box attacking midfielder, Casemiro, 100%. But guys, big up, Tom. Give me your score quickly before we go, people. Give me your scores. I think it's going to be a draw or United loss. Because if United play and think they can play bob it around at Allen Road with that amount of crowd and the way Leeds press you up front and in midfield, then we're in serious trouble, people. Serious trouble. He's 28. Yes, Sabis is 28. Yeah, no problem. So I think it's either 1-1 draw or it could be 2-1, 3-1 to Leeds. I believe if Man United play lackadaisical, lackluster, give the ball away all day football. Tom, what do you think of the game? Quickly. You there, Tom? What do you think the score's going to be? Come on, people. Give me 2-1 to United. 2-1 United. 3-1 United. Dominic, what are you smoking? Dominic Jad, what are you smoking, lad? Can I smoke some of that? Yeah, congratulations to Manu, yeah. Big up Manu. Congratulations to him, man. Congratulations to the kid, man. So proud of him. Mancunian, mate. Mancunian. Stockport Incy. 3-0 United. 2-1 United. 3-0. Chipo Chat. Not possible. Nick Nashes, I think, will steal it. 3-1 Man United win. 2-1 Man United. 3-2 Leeds, unfortunately. Fine margins. Alicia Sinkanova. Big up Alicia Sinkanova. I was getting worried. I'm not seeing you in the chat lately. 0-0. I see you smashing Leeds C gold. Wow. I wish I was confident as you guys. Honestly. I wish I was confident. Tom, quickly give me the score. I'm gonna tell you what Man United were doing in the last game. I'm gonna tell you that. So I'm gonna tell you the scores and fixtures. So I'm gonna tell you what Man United. So Man United had 24 shots on goal and only 7 on target. That is absolutely disgraceful.
Jeez.
We had 70% possession at the game. We had 66% possession, right? Almost 70% possession. We had 24 shots and 7 on target.
Wow.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, people, it is what it is. It is what it is. But Tom, quickly tell me, what do you think the score's going to be?
I want to be optimistic and predict to win, but I'll be real. I think there'll be a draw in this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we'll score, but I don't know if we'll hold on. That's the only thing I'm thinking. I think we'll score first. I think, if I was predicting to win, I'm not predicting anything like 3 or 4-1 or out like that. I think it's going to be a lot more aggressive than that, because we ain't going to want to concede goals. Because if we concede goals, then we've got to score more. And I don't really see the whole thing. But personally, I would. I'm gonna go 1-1. I think there'll be a draw in this, but no, we'll do that stream that Gio's just said there about. We'll do that stream about potential owners.
We'll do it next Friday. We'll do it next Friday night. We'll
be live.
Yeah,
that's fine.
We'll be live at 10:30 next Friday. We'll be live at 10:30 next Friday, people. Nish Nasher, start Sancho. Listen, let me get this super start. Big ups, Semiasi. Semiasi says, you rely on Casemiro too much. Once Arsenal signed Rice in the summer, United will fall further behind. With what money are you going to sign Rice for?
So you're gonna sign Declan Rice for
100 million. HKN Music says
it's not even that.
Yeah.
Go on,
HKN Music says, doubt anyone would buy Martial. He will be here next season. R.I.P. aka South African rappers who was shot in Durban tonight. R.I.P. Akka, is that the name? South African rapper shot in Durban tonight. Oh man, R.I.P. man, R.I.P. I love South African music, HKN music. I love. Listen, HKN music. Listen, HKN music. Are you on Twitter? Let us know if you're on Twitter, because I really want a tune for the United Real Therapy. I want you to make a tune for United Real Therapy, the channel, so we can have it as an outro and an intro. That's what we need.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Big up HKN music. Lots of love. But yeah, and rest in peace to
rest in peace.
Akka, man, it's tragic. It's tragic, man. I don't know what's going on. 2-0 United. Leeds defensive shambles. I don't know about that. AK, what's the AK saying? AK said something that somebody was not sure about. But anyway, big up Alicia. Big up every one of you. Tom, you reckon it's going to be a draw?
I think it'll be a draw, personally. Yeah.
Okay, Nuruddin, I believe Ten Hag will do everything possible to get us winning in a winning position in April. Then it's up to the football gods for us to prevail. You know what? I hope you're right, David. I really hope you're right. I really hope you're right. Tom, how about your bet? You're going to Tom. How's your bet going? Are you winning yet? No, he's not winning yet.
We're bidding. We're bidding, lads. We're bidding.
Listen, they're bidding. But we'll see. We'll see. Because Glazers are saying tonight they might not want to accept the business.
Oh, it's PR, BS.
Neil Ashton is on the job. Problem with tonight that he does not rotate much. He will play the main team in Europe. Oh God, it will be that 100%. Tom, Alice, Mr. Structure, my team. There you go. Alicia, you're our team as
Alicia,
well.
big up.
Please don't tell me it was Prophets of the City rapper that was shot and killed. Oh, no. Please don't tell me yet. R.I.P. Mega, a.k.a. a big United supporter. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Listen, whether he supported United or not.
Yeah. Love to his family and friends and everything, and respect.
Yeah. I'm going to try to find you tonight, aka Music. Big up for the super chat as well. So RIP to all his family. Listen, and we always say as well, please, can we wish our hearts goes out to the people in Turkey and people in Syria. The images are absolutely, the harrowing images are incredible. The miracle imageries where people have been buried underneath the rubble for 2 days and still alive is incredible. So I just hope that the US embargo is lifted and then aid can get to Syria. I really hope that can be lifted, because at the moment, no aid can get to it. Aid can get to Turkey, but it can't get to Syria. But big up, and yeah, RIP to anybody and any of you who've lost loved ones as well. But our hearts goes out to all the people in Turkey and Syria and all of the people in the world who are suffering and all the wars.
Yep.
We don't want wars. We want peace, people. We want peace. We have to love humanity. We want humanity to prevail. And we only do that if we want peace. Put the guns down, whether Ukraine, Russia, whether it's in East Africa, whether it's Yemen, and what the Dubai lot are doing over there, and Saudi Arabia. We want peace in this world. We want every child to have an opportunity to grow up in a peaceful, chilled life. We want families to have chilled life and children to grow up in prosperity. That's what we want, people.
Yep.
Prayers for Syria and Turkey. And Therapy Army, Tom, thank you so much. Big up, Tom. And big up for Mohammed as well for coming on earlier on, letting me know about his frustrations with the team. And big up to everybody as well who's been tonight. Thank you for the super chat. Big up to HK and Music. Big up Say Miasi. Big up to everybody who's been in the chat tonight. Tom Journalist, One People, those of you who want to go and follow, give him a follow. And you can catch me, that guy, Red Devil, Mr. Structure. Win, lose, or draw. Glazers out, bankers out. I swear to you, I hope I am so wrong about our season collapsing, because we haven't got the squad and the midfield depth to be able to go for games. Do you see the Twitter handle predicted the earthquake? Wow, I didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that.
The earthquake 20 minutes before it happened. Wow, that's crazy. Oh yeah, because they can tell by the way certain things are moving in it. They can tell.
I think it's to do with like the climate and that, isn't it?
Yeah.
The movement within space, like different spaces within the world or something like that.
Yeah. You always enjoy my spaces. What are you talking about, you Alex? What are you talking about, Alex? Big up Tom, by the way. Lots of love and light. But guys, please smash a like on the video on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Win, lose, or draw. Glazers out, bankers out. We'll be back on Sunday with a match reaction. And if any other breaking news happens, we'll be back tomorrow. But love and light, people. Look after each other. And we'll see you soon. Help Tom, Mr. Structure, to get 7 by the weekend. Then we can have some Ollie juice with that Alice. Hey, that's be having you. I'm actually going to go on Alice's channel. I'm going to get in touch with Alice too. So I want to get on her channel anyway. Talk about what's going on. Nuruddin, the real one. I love the realist. Aaron Kronos, love but nothing but love to you. He says here, Nuruddin, what are your thoughts on rants and bans, comments on Garnacho is shit? Well, that's just him, innit, bro? That's just him. That is just him. At the end of the day, anybody else can have a football opinion and say somebody's shit. That's just on them. To me, Garnacho is an absolute warrior at 18, and he's got a lot of development to do, a lot of things to learn, but he is an incredible talent. He's an incredible talent. Big up. Take care, people. And we'll see you soon, people. We'll see you soon. Love, light, always take care. Look after each other. Bankers out. There we go. Big up, Nate. Long time, Nate. Long time. I hope you and your family are well, brother. Win, lose, or draw. Glazers out, bankers out. Good night, Vienna.